In today's video, I show you Valley of the Horse Lords Kickstarter from RM Printable Terrain. But before we get into today's video, just want to share with you what the GGGGs are for this month. Each month, Bob the Beholder picks some of my Patreon supporters to receive gratitude gifts. And for this month of March of 2025, we have 2 pledges for this campaign, which is going to be launching March 29th. And we have $100 going towards either the Shadow Dark campaign or the Elder Scrolls campaign, winner's choice. Go ahead and use the link below to go to my Patreon page where you can find out more information on how you can get in on this month's GGGGs. It only takes $1. So I've done a number of videos for RM Printable Terrain, including previous campaigns such as these trees, which I thought fit really well with this Viking themed terrain that is going to be coming out very soon. But this newest iteration is a bunch of different kinds of buildings as well as scatter terrain. And here on the board I have showing these 32mm miniatures just to give you a sense of scale. I printed everything in 0.2mm height with 5% infill, and all of it prints without the need of any supports. And one of the details is all of these horse head decorations that go along the roofline are printed out separately and then you glue them on. But as you can see here, it comes out with a variety of different scatter terrain. And just note that I did actually combine some of the scatter terrains so that they could be printed out as one piece rather than me moving individual barrels around. And with these crates, I actually increased the size because I thought the crates were a little bit small. Also, I wanted some cover terrain that the miniatures could hide behind for some of my tabletop wargaming. But all of the pieces do come individually. I did print some of these scatter pieces with my resin printer, and you can see here the difference between my resin printer and my FDM printer. Everything does print out in FDM, including these wagons, as they are sliced in a creative way, and you can glue the pieces together in order to get the details that you see here. And I did print the scatter terrain on my FDM printer at 0.16mm height just to get a little bit more detail. I do have a painting tutorial at the end of the video, so make sure to stick around if you are interested in that. I don't have a walkthrough of the campaign because the preview page hasn't been set up yet, but I will provide a link to the campaign once it is live, which should be shortly after the time that I post this video. I also really like that most of the buildings do come with these stone platforms. And that's entirely optional because these pieces do lift off as well as the roof so that you can access the interior of the buildings. As I've stated before in a couple of my other videos, it's very rare that I need to access the inside as I'm primarily using these for tabletop wargaming and they just count as blocking terrain. But if you are playing any RPGs, these would also fit as well because then you have entire access within the buildings. So these are definitely interactive and you're absolutely able to use these for RPGs. These aren't the only pieces that you're going to get in the Kickstarter, but this is just a sample and I printed out enough to be able to fill out a board for some of my tabletop wargaming. I'm going to be at Adepticon this next weekend and running a tournament for one-page rules. So I'm going to be bringing this as part of the terrain that I'm going to be fielding for a bunch of different tables. Also, because I'll be at Adepticon, we won't have our normal Sunday night Discord hangout. So Bob is going to be making his picks next Sunday, but I will be announcing those picks on the following day. Feel free to stick around if you are interested in seeing how I painted up these pieces. It's super quick and easy using craft paint. And again, use the link below to go to my Patreon page if you are interested in possibly being chosen to receive this as a pledge. Also use the link to go to the campaign page once it goes live. Otherwise, happy printing, happy gaming. We'll see you next time. All right, so everything is spray primed with this Krylon camouflage brown. And this is just a dark flat brown color. This includes all of the building pieces too. So pretty much everything is spray painted with this dark brown. I do print everything in black PLA, so even if I miss some spots, it's okay because it's dark. And then first I'm going to go ahead and grab some burnt sienna and give all of this wood a nice coat of this. And because this dark brown is so dark, I will probably do a second coat just so that it lightens up a little bit. I'm grabbing some sable brown, which is this lighter color, and I did intentionally print these right up against each other so that they fuse together, so that I have these really long pieces of fencing, because I want to be able to set this up quickly, and by having these long pieces I'm able to do that. And I also did these fencing around the hay bales. I just got some black paint to paint over the banding and any of the metal that I find, and then painted these potatoes with a tan, red for the apples, sort of a bluish gray for the fish. Did the same over here. Still trying to figure out what color to make this. Maybe just keep it dark brown, but did all of the banding and the metal with black.